I'm going to go ahead and click record and share screen.
Rock and roll. I'm going to tag everybody.
Everybody down here. Why is this on the end? Is that done? All right, what did I do?
Hit escape. Hit exit. Or just click where it says slide 20. And just go back to slide 1.
Oh, got it.
I got you, boo.
Okay. My little things are overlapping. Okay, so welcome to call number 2, booking and recruiting at the party in our Rise to Success program. I can't even talk. So I'm Ann Harrison, your advanced director, and myself and Ariel Tyson, your team mermaid leader, are going to run through this really quick and give you some booking and recruiting ideas. But let's start off the week with how are your contacts going and are you tracking them? Because always remember, winners keep score. And we want to know, how many no's did you get? How many bookings did you get? Did you get any recruiting leads? And you can drop that in the comments. That is the most effective way for you to relay that information to us. Share your success with us. Sorry, Ariel, I just took right over that slide.
It's totally okay. I am tagging people on the post just to make sure they see it.
Gotcha.
So I wasn't even looking at the slide. I'm sorry. It's a bad student. We are the worst.
And we're going to have just a quick testimonial from one of our mermaids, Rhonda. No, I'm not even going to try. Obi, is that right? Talk to us about your booking successes.
Well, not a lot of huge success one way or the other. I kind of see myself as part-time, but to be part-time, I'm having huge success from what I figured I'd have in the beginning. Background with this, you know, I would order stuff from Ariel every once in a while. She'd put something like, hey, you know, I'm like $20 away. I'm like, cool, I like this, you know. And then just out of nowhere, she, you know, said that she needed somebody to do parties. I'm like, okay, what the hell? Sorry. It's like, yeah, I'll do a party. And she's like, you know, do you want to try this? You know, we can make this your launch party. And I was like, okay. And I literally went into this with, you know, I'm doing this as a favor, because one of the first questions I asked her was, can I quit at any time? And she was like, yeah, you can quit at any time. I'm like, okay. So went into it. My launch party was a huge success and just kind of kept going from there. Again, thinking, you know, something to occupy a little bit of time, whatever. But since then, and guys, I work 6-7 days a week, 50 to 70 hours a week. And right now, my regular job is booming. We are just, it's unreal how busy we are at this point in time. But I'm on party number 18. I've got party number 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 is booked. Yes, count them all, 5. 3 more this month, 2 next month. Career sales, which I just looked up before this, I'm $9,011. I would have never thought that I would ever, you know, a couple $1,000, $3,000, yeah. But when I looked at this, I was surprised. But the biggest thing is, guys, listen to your director, listen to your advanced director. I've known Ariel for years, so I can say stuff like I want to, so hang on, child. You know, she might sound completely off her rocker. She might sound repetitive. She might sound like, for lack of putting it better, that she's just, you know, just it. She knows what she's talking about. I promise you, she does. Because I've taken some of the things that she has said and Ann has said and even Jennifer has said, and where in the beginning of this, you get those first few bookings right off the bat from your launch party and you're good. And then it kind of, dives down. I just knew, okay, this isn't where I need to be. This isn't going to work. I'll do one party a month. I'll be okay. If you listen to them and follow them and listen to their advice, it works. I promise you it works, because I've taken some of the things they've said going, yeah, this is stupid. And next thing I know, I've got 3-4 bookings out of whatever they've said. So it works. I promise you. Don't be afraid of the no's. The no's are going to happen. It's, the no's happen no matter what you do. I run a restaurant. We suggestive sale with every order. 5% of the people say, no, I don't want that. But that 5% do. And that's where you've got to concentrate on with your parties. Okay, if 95% tell you no, that's fine. Mark it down. They said no, get back with them in a few months. But get those 5%. And you can't get those 5% if you don't ask those 5%. And that's my testimony.
Thank you, Rhonda. Those 5 bookings, did you get some of those when we did the booking blitz?
This one I did not hop in on. The first one that I did, the first Rise to Success, I think out of that one, I wound up getting, hang on, I can tell you because I got my calendar right here.
Yes, you did, because you posted something on your wall. You told me.
Yes, I got 5 out of that first booking blitz.
And then you posted something on your wall because you said you thought I was crazy, and you posted it.
Yes.
And people
Oh, yeah.
You got bookings from
Oh,
that.
I didn't realize that was coming from the Rise thing. I thought it was just you going, hey, here's an idea, y'all.
Well, yeah.
Well, it was the toast thing, wasn't it? Was it the
Yeah.
toast? The bread, how you cut your bread? That's the one that I thought she had just finally just dove. I'm talking and having
straight off the deep end.
But yeah, it's like the toast one. I'm like, she is finally just, them little twins have just pushed her over the edge. She's talking about toast to help get you bookings, how to cut a sandwich. I'm like, oh God.
Oh, my husband.
Thinking I need to call up Ivy going, have you had her mental health check out lately? But it worked. See in the background?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, but it did. It worked. And the cool thing about when you do stuff like that, that I learned from Ariel, is the more traffic you get to your Facebook, the more people are going to see your Facebook, because that's how Facebook works. It's like it goes for stuff that people are liking a lot. How many times you go through your newsfeed and you're like, my God, I've seen this like 20 times today. And that's because it's just how it does it. So yeah, guys, listen to your directors. I promise you, but they know what they're talking about. It works. It really works. And I'm having a blast right now. I'm so daggum excited that I've got 5 more parties booked. And I've got 3 more people that are on the fence right now that I've got on my calendar to talk to them on Thursday, to call them back up going, now's the time. So
that is awesome.
The follow-up.
And, write it down. Why? Because winners keep score.
We did not pay her for this advertisement.
Oh, you're gonna pay, but no, I'm just
seriously, thank you so much for sharing all that with us, and hopefully your honesty captures somebody's attention here.
Yeah, like I said, and it's not as tough. I made it out to be way tougher than what it was, and it's not. Now I can do 2-3 parties a week. Don't say nothing. I don't want you to say shush up. I see you smiling and nodding. But yeah, it's way easier. But on that note, guys, I hate to leave y'all. I've been up since 4 o'clock in the morning, and I got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to say good night.
Night.
Y'all be safe in Eastern NC. Wash your flipping hands. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Rhonda.
So we thought it would be cool for you guys just to hear from somebody who did follow this program through to the end, the last time we did it, and just kind of see what she got out of it. So mindset moment here. We talked last time about how the way you think really impacts your results. And so thinking about what might hold you back from achieving this goal that you're putting in front of yourself at the beginning of this call series. So what is your goal? Where do you see your business a year from now? Do you want a bigger business, a growing team? Do you want to earn a trip, more money, even promote to director? There's only one thing that holds people back from accomplishing what they want, and that's fear. False evidence appearing real. A lot of the times our fears are just the things that live in our head. I know I'm a victim of it myself. I'm a victim of it myself. We all do it. Most fear is self-created. And a lot of the time that fear can really become crippling to your goals and your dreams and your actions. We're under the impression that the things outside of us are causing this fear, when the reality is the fear is really just living right up in here. And we can really change this narrative. We have the power to change this narrative. Sorry, I'm playing with a hair tie. When we realize that the source is really us. So the cure for this mindset issue is taking action. That's one thing you can do to cure this problem. So write down one thing that you fear as it relates to promoting to director. What is a fear that you have in relation to promoting to director? Now, once you have that fear written down, and it is important to write it down, because writing it down, it actually takes it out of your mind and it puts it on the table. And I know that doesn't seem important, but that figurative action, so to speak, makes a difference. So now take that statement and reframe it for the positive. So for example, if your fear is not being able to recruit 5 team members, I'll never be able to recruit 5 people. Change it to say, when I ask enough people, I will easily recruit 5 new team members. Because just like we said last week, it's all about in what you're telling yourself. Stop using the words if and can't. It's when you do it. So when I ask enough people, I will recruit 5 people. So let's expand a little bit on this positive narrative, because we just took a negative statement, hopefully, and you turned it into a positive. And let's talk a second about affirmations. It's this corny thing that we've all heard of, right? And some people do them and some people balk at them. But these positive affirmations are statements or phrases that you repeat to yourself that describe a specific positive outcome. So share that one thing that's holding you back from taking action and creating a positive affirmation about the success that you're going to have in promoting to director. So what is this positive statement that you've now created from your fear? Drop it in the chat. Drop that positively worded statement in the chat. Because let's be real, you all have very similar fears, I promise you. Your brain is not as smart as we think. I mean, our brains are not as smart as we want them to be. It's going to believe what we tell it. And if it keeps hearing us say, I can't recruit 5 people, you're not going to ask. I said that to myself for the first year I was in the business. Do you know how many people I asked to join my team for my first year of business? None. As soon as I started asking, people started joining. There's just a mindset that has to change. And I realized the problem wasn't everybody else. The problem was me. So drop those positively worded affirmations in the chat. What are you telling yourself every day?
All right, so switching gears, let's talk about booking at the party. So one of the most important things that you can do for yourself and for building relationships and for booking parties and building your calendar is host coaching. Host coaching is not you telling the host what to do. It's partnering with the host to ensure that they get the best possible result out of their party. And that's, after all, what you want, and that's what they want. So it's a win-win situation. So by creating this partnership with your host, you'll find success in sales, booking, and recruiting. And it's just all in building relationships. Because 80% of our parties are actually booked at the party when we get 3 bookings from each party by partnering with your host. Let's talk about some things that you can do to get bookings at your virtual parties, because the most of us are functioning in a virtual world these days. I know personally I'm only doing a few home cooking shows here and there, and that's only because they requested a wedding shower. I don't really want to do it, but I'm not going to turn down money. So let's encourage our virtual hosts to be actively involved in the party. We know that's one big thing about their party being a success in sales and in so many different aspects, because if she had a party at her home and she didn't show up to her own party, it would be a complete flop. Same thing virtually. Always want to feature at least a power tool or two and share how to get it at a discount or for free. So tell them how they can earn it. Or how they can get it. They can get it for full price. They can get it for half price. They can get it for free. There's 3 different ways to get it. And you always want to share all the benefits you have of hosting your own party. Personally invite people and everyone to host during checkout. If you don't invite them, this basically like them going to dinner and you not offering them dessert. You would never not do that, right? I would be offended if nobody offered me dessert because I had 2 desserts for dinner. Yes, I did. So, always want to offer it to them, just like you always want to offer the business opportunity to. Okay. Offer party themes that spark interest, like a wine, cheese, and chocolate, a grilling party. It could be a hurricane party this week. I mean, just think of something fun. And you can always use a survey like a Google form or something to learn more about the guest interest and help you improve your parties. Gathering their contact info and a spot for comments and questions, and ask people to share which they are interested in. Okay, if they'd be more interested in earning free products, hosting their own party, they want to become a consultant, maybe they're interested in a wedding shower for a friend, or then maybe they just want some email recipes and tips, or they want to be in your VIP group. So be sure that you are partnering with your host to help them achieve and you achieve the best possible outcome. That's what I can tell you there. So we have tons of images and marketing imagery to help you book parties. This host rewards that shows them how much they get in free and half price depending on their party is one good one I love to use. There's also some little images with book a party up here, and sharing our half price host combos are a great thing because many people book with us solely to get a new cookware at half price. Doesn't matter what any other special we have is that month. So keep that in mind. Go Live featured a recipe and a power tool. I know, Ariel, didn't you go live tonight? I think you did. I don't know what you were cooking, but I saw
Last night at 11 o'clock.
Oh, last night at 11 o'clock? What the heck were you cooking at 11 o'clock?
I had 12 viewers, zucchini bread.
Oh. Good for you. She said I had 12 viewers. But build relationships with your guests through your parties and through private messages too. Thank you for your order, and thank you for what I can call a rock star party guest. They love being called something quirky like that. And you're basically thanking them for participating, and they really appreciate that. So, rockstar guests like you just have the kind of people I love to work with as a host. I'm sure you probably have tons of products on your wish list. I have a quick question. Can I help you earn them for free or at a discount with your own online party? Like, think about these words. And these are Ariel's words. They're not my words. They're not Cheryl's words. So you want to tweak it to sound like you, okay? But think about these things. And we can always drop some of these in the Rise to Success group. So if you guys want to read them a little bit more thoroughly or tweak them to be your own. So you can always offer your host a booking challenge. This is a great way to get them working for you. And you know what? When they're doing the work for you, it's a whole lot easier to turn it around and flip her to a consultant too. So it's a win-win situation. Ask them to reach out to 5 or more guests and encourage them to book a party. The challenge is to get at least 3 bookings for an extra gift. And you can provide those words. And in the fall, this is something that you're going to want to do because Pampered Chef is going to provide the gift. Hello, where's it been all these years? So I'm so excited about that. And your message can look a little like this. I'm not going to read it to you, but brainstorm and write down a way you can incorporate a booking challenge into your virtual parties and into your host coaching and put them in the back corner doing the work for you. It'll make the conversations easier with your guests. And like I said, when they're doing the work, it's going to be a whole lot easier to flip them to a consultant and recruit them and share this business opportunity with them. So, win-win situation. Or you can have your guest surprise their host. What can they do to surprise their host? You could surprise her with 3 bookings that tells her that she's going to get an additional $50 in free product, because that's what the company's going to offer this fall to them. So just something to think about. And you could offer them a little surprise by being one of the first bookings. It's all online and very easy. It's completely up to you. It's your business. You can run it the way you want to. These are just things that we do to help boost our party bookings. So, which parties could you go back and do this in? Jot down some of the host names. You know what? If they ended 2 weeks ago, who cares? They're all still in that group and they're still waiting for their order. So their attention is still slightly piqued, and it doesn't hurt to reach out to them. Like I said, if you went to a restaurant and went out to eat, you would be offended if you didn't get offered dessert, right? I sure would be.
And just a little side note, a lot of hosts will work to get that, whatever credit you're offering them, whether it's $30 at the third party or $50 at the third party, whatever you're offering them, they will work for that. So not every host, but many of them will. All right. So I threw this slide in here because I dealt with all of these objections today, and I thought that just having this language might be helpful for you guys. So we will, of course, drop this in the group, but I wanted you to see how you can handle these objections and not just accept the no, because I did turn one of these around into a booking. Okay, so these are actual words from people. I don't have time. If you ask them for a booking, they say, I don't have time. I totally get it. So where I go with that is repurpose 10 minutes of your normal Facebook time each day. I don't feel like I would have enough interest to be worth it. I can't do it right now. If they still say no, ask them to book later. So always follow up with them. We'll post this in the group for you, but I wanted to make sure that you saw that handling objections is a normal thing. It's not a no until it's a hard no. I'm watching our time, man. That's why I rushed.
Gotcha.
Okay, recruiting. For every 4, add 1 more. Y'all, it's a golden rule. For every 4 parties, you should be adding 1 person to your team. If you're asking enough people. Now, that's a big if, right? So one of the biggest things I got out of a national conference training was that I was not asking enough people, okay? So you should be asking the host, you should be asking 3 rock star guests, and then 2 more interested guests who commented in the party, maybe commented on a recruiting post. You should be asking 6 people per party. Are you doing it? Because if you're not growing your team and you want to, you're probably just not asking enough people, right? Of course, your host is the biggest lead. So I always focus on bookings because, like Ann said, I have a lot better chance of turning a host into a recruit than I do just some random person in a party. But yeah, I mean, some of you guys here, you were just somebody in a party. You weren't a host. So, it does happen. So you'll be recruiting 1 person from every 4 parties you hold. Of course, your first lead is your host. And one way, so think of a way that you identify a recruit lead in a virtual party. Drop it in the chat. And as we go through the next couple slides, we'll come back to it. But what's something in a virtual party that you look for that you're like, oh, that person would be good? So step 1, This is where you inform guests about the benefits of the business. It could be a post from marketing imagery. Now, one thing we're going to throw out here is make sure you're sticking with marketing imagery and make sure you are familiar with the FCC guidelines that are currently out there right now. We've posted articles on the team page. There are articles in the STIR. We can always post it again for you. But remember that we're a little bit limited in what we can say about income and stuff like that. So just make sure that what you're posting is compliant. So here are some examples of how to inform people. Share your story. That's your intro. Why are you doing Pampered Chef? For virtual parties, you can be a post, you can go live. Use the recruiting post and marketing imagery. They're a great resource. You could post a picture of the kits and say, hey, these are a great deal. What product catches your eye? You don't even have to be super fancy about it. Just put it in front of them. Or post an Ask Me Anything image to encourage guests to ask you about your business. What you don't want to encourage, you don't want to encourage them to ask you how much money you make. That is the one thing right now that we really cannot disclose, talk about in a party like that. Now, obviously, once you recruit them, once they're on your team, that's a different discussion. Right, Ann? Okay, I just want to make sure I was saying that right. Invite. So invite your guests to learn more. So let's say they comment on a post on the which benefit of the business stands out to you. So I have that post set up in my party as comment below and send me a message that says, I commented and I want my prize. There's no shame in my game. That is the message I tell them to send me. And I send them an e-cookbook for sending me a message. And what that does is it opens a door for me to talk to them about the response that they put. So let's say they want to earn a little extra money. I say, oh my gosh, thanks so much for playing along. Here's your e-cookbook. I'd love to know more about how some extra money could help your family. And it just opens a door for conversation. Your recruiting is not going to happen in the group. Recruiting is going to happen in a one-on-one message. So the trick is to get them into a messenger conversation with you, right? And I can post that in the group as well. So you can play the game and look and listen for signs that a guest might be interested in the business. They could say they love it, they're engaging, they're commenting a lot, and share that link to your Be a Consultant page that we talked about last week. Ask, have they looked at your website? What questions do you have? Assume they're going to have questions, and that's okay. What appeals to them about joining Pampered Chef? What kit would they choose? Isn't that kit with the quick cooker a great deal? What about when it's going to include the air fryer, which we're not telling them yet, but what would it, we're going to tell them that, right? That's a crazy deal. Ask every person you can about the business. Ask them open-ended questions, not a yes/no question, because it's way too easy to say no. So have you ever thought about being a consultant? No. But if you had some extra money in your monthly budget, how would that benefit you? People are a lot more likely to answer that kind of question than they are, do you want to join my team? So it's all in the language that you're using. And then personalize that conversation based on what you've learned about people. It's one thing to use a cookie cutter script when we're posting in our parties. It's another to use it in a one-on-one conversation with somebody. Make sure that you're personalizing that conversation with them based on what they say they want out of a business. Do they want free product? Is that why they want to join Pampered Chef? Because they just love this stuff and want to stock their kitchen. Cool, we can help with that. If they aren't sure, or they don't respond, you can send them that Be a Consultant page link and use this language here. If they're interested but want to think on it more, don't let it go too long without following up. Give it 24 hours, okay? You don't want it to drop off of their radar. All right, so we're running out of time here. Let's summarize this. after tonight, that's a lot of booking and recruiting tips here. And we are going to drop a lot of screenshots into the group for you of this presentation because it had a lot of really good language in it. So what are you going to stop doing as a result of this call? Is there a language that maybe you need to change in how you're approaching things? What are you going to continue doing as a result of this call? So what are you doing right? What do you need to keep going on? And then what are you going to start doing? And if we have time, you can drop that green one in the chat bar. What are you going to start? But hopefully we've ignited a little fire under you in one of these areas.
So we got a little call to action this week. Do your weekly check-in with your director. Talk about your parties, your bookings, your leads. Celebrate you. Talk about anything that you're running into that's not working for you so we can help you modify that. Talk to us between now and Thursday of this week. You can schedule your time with us. Continue doing your contacts, because if you aren't doing those contacts, then you might not be getting the results that you want, and we want to help you guys get the results that you want. But in order to do that, it's a numbers game. You're just going to have to reach out to a certain amount of people. And just because the answer was once no doesn't mean it's always no. So keep that in mind. Write your story or record a little video. Send that video to tell us so we can chat about it. And that's something quick and easy. That's almost like your 30-second commercial is kind of what that is. Jot down the list of things that you learned out of this session and you want to take action on. We talked about the things that you want to stop, things you want to continue, and things that you want to start. Think about those things. So 2 or more ideas for bookings from parties, how you'll inform people at parties about your business opportunity, and how you'll identify and respond to party rock stars, and keep adding names to your list of contacts for your hot list of recruiting and your follow-up list, okay? Questions?
Woo, we trucked through that.
Yes, we did.
I kind of like having the time limit though. It keeps us honest.
Yes. I know this is going to cut off, so thank you all so much for taking time out of your evening. If you missed something, reach out to us. I'll have the recording. I'll send it to Ariel so we can send it to you.